What's up, aka Padders? We're talking Stanley on this Monday. Do you guys remember? Do you even know who feedback is? It's major, it's important. Let's get into it. What's up, aka Padders? I got new sippy. Oh wait, yes I do. Here we go. Peter A. DeLuca here, aka Pad69. Say it with me. Known through Philadelphia, PA, Europe, and the multiverse as your eclectic one. We're eclectic here for a reason, because things only make sense when you can connect the dots through eclectic methods. Alright, Ozymandias, Watchmen, this is your guy. I do the same thing that he does. Sippy real quick. The same way how Ozymandias figured out that he could create world peace by faking an alien invasion while tricking a godlike character like Dr. Manhattan. Alright, that's what being eclectic can do. We got something here. I've been floating this comic book around for a while, for months. Floating it, meaning it's here, it's there, it's in the crapper with me. I take it onto to my OnlyFans photo shoot in the champagne room here, guys. But anyway, it's just I travel with this for a while. It's been all over with me. And if you guys aren't familiar, right? Who wants to be a superhero? We're showing some of the promos. We're showing some of the stuff as I'm talking to you, because I want you guys to see. I know a lot of you listen only to AKA Pad, but if you're watching, get your peepers onto the screen right now. And what I'm showing you is Stan Lee being Stan Lee. Stan Lee, a big enough of a name to get a sci-fi series. Now, given a lot his reality shows, right? I believe there's been 3 of them, might have been 6 seasons total. Who Wants to Be a Superhero ran for 2 seasons in the US and once in the UK. The idea for the show was, let's get a real life person, let's have them embody comic books, and let's just judge. Let's just have this person do certain things, and we're going to judge them. And then at the end of the season, one of these people, these characters, whatever you want to call them, cosplayers maybe, but one of them is going to get selected. They're going to get a Dark Horse comic book. They're going to get a Shocker Toys action figure. They're going to get paraded around a couple of conventions, and maybe even becomes a spokesperson, not just for the comic book industry, but what American comic book superheroes represent, which is the better good, the great, be a good person, okay? Be good, think about your neighbor. That is the precept, the baseline of American comic book superheroes. And so let's do a show. In 2007, comic books hitting cinemas, popping, making major money. Now was the time, and who else would you get rather than Stan Lee? Now, I know a lot of you guys, a lot of you out there, a lot of you aka Padders, don't hide from me. You guys are very much confused over Stan Lee. You guys think he's a credit-stealing hog, and all of these things I also once thought. But guess what happens in life when you read a lot of books, you gain experience, you get some wisdom, and you make yourself a YouTube channel. Guess what happens at that point? Opinions change, ideas shift. You see a different light. And that doesn't mean Stan Lee never took credit. He did. He's admitted that. But Stan Lee, even to this day, is the greatest comic book salesman in the history of the absolute universe. You have to consider that, and you have to consider what his name meant, what his name was able to do, and what he did with that. Now, the creation of Marvel Comics and everything nice and pleasant that happened in the 1960s, it's when we look back, we have to be eclectic, because it's like a mosaic, and there's one point here and one point there, and consider this and consider that. It gets very murky and muddy. Now, a lot of people can't apply that type of constructive thought into what it was like to create and work for these companies back in the day, and later what it meant decades later when the characters actually did something money-wise, when they actually did something other than paying for someone's rent and grocery bills. You know, the guys that used to work on the book. So, who wants to be a superhero? First winner, feedback. Dark Horse comic book, 2007, and now we're also at this pivotal point in comic book history. This is the amazing part of everything we're talking about here. The amazing point of all of this is actually, I want to say 2006, 2007, 2008. This is where the American comic book market started to rot and started to crumble, and they went from gimmick to gimmick to gimmick to gimmick and deviate away from hardcore character-based continuity. They just went away from everything starting now, and this is post-Image Comics, post-Writers Renaissance in the 2000s. We're now approaching. We need gimmicks, we need Hollywood, we cannot move anything, we cannot sell anything, we cannot be an industry unless we have the help of Hollywood. This is the beginning of every single comic book becoming a Netflix, a movie, a studio pitch. Bad alliances, bad ideas. Now, given like this should be like an inconsequential one-off. In a way, it was, but when we look back, it is actually something bigger, and I'm proud to show you guys this because this is still a professional comic book, a professional effort with fantastic writing, coloring, storytelling, and penciling the visuals. Outside the cover here, because I never liked the cover, let's have a look at Stan Lee's Who Wants to Be a Superhero feedback issue 1 of 1. Let's just have a look, guys, because there's a lot to learn here. There it is, aka Patters. Cheers to all of you. We got some Prime. Hold on. Let me get some of this. We also got some Prime over here. I just did this on Instagram Live. Find me on Insta, aka Pad69. We do food streams there, just for fun, just to break up the pop culture content. All right, so people, let me just show you guys something real quick. These are just a couple books. Just a few books, I feel like, to really develop a perspective of Stan Lee. Okay? And these are a prerequisite to discussing anything Stan Lee with me. This is inclusion to, I have a stack of magazines like that. They're boxed up, but a ton of interviews with Stan Lee too, even the Playboy one. But these, just have these books in your brain just so we can discuss Stan Lee. Because I feel like reading any of these, now, or all of them, will change your mind. With all of that said, look at my messy table. So we're trying to do something here. We're just trying to establish, is this a good comic? Well, it already is. But let's look into why and how it's a good comic. Who Wants to Be a Superhero? Dark Horse, 20 years, Sci-Fi channel. I do like the cross promotion corner box here. 40 pages. Now, I've already said this cover needs to go, people. I mean, they couldn't even like blow him up more or make more of his power. Like, I don't know. The negative background doesn't work. I'm not crazy over the pose. This is not a power pose. It's not an issue 1 pose. You know, like people, I think of Invincible Iron Man #1, Submariner #1. I think of a lot of these books that completely inaccurately show off the hero. Let's get into that. So this is our real life feedback right here, guys. And right here, what's feedback up to? Let's show that right now. Feedback is on LinkedIn. He's a software engineer. That's what the real life guy is doing. He looks the same. We got Stan Lee on the script. Will Conrad as the artist, Michael Barlito as the colorist, and we have nothing. Yeah, I want to say I thought that there was a co-writing credit here. But anyway, and then feedback created by Matthew Arthurton and Sarah Blivis. So we start on a rainy night. Someone literally just gets electrocuted. We flash back to the earlier life. Now, thanks to Wikipedia, I've read up on this guy. His father died when he was younger, and he got through some of that pain and anguish by reading comic books. I'm sure that was expressed in the show. And people, I did watch the show when it premiered. I would watch that, and then I would watch Face Off on Sci-Fi, and I absolutely love Face Off. Really reignited my love of creating characters. But anyway, we go through young Billy's life, and he's playing video games, he's fixing video games. This is a great panel here because we're still in, like, we'll call this like modern day, but here, like, again, the face profile always signifies flashback, and it's, you know, Conrad does a great example here. I would like to a little bit more shadow here for the buildings to have it like fading into his memory. But anyway, so he's at an arcade, Feedback Fury right here, like a little nod. He's fixing this arcade. We get these punks, and these punks have nothing better to do than harass this dude trying to fix the game. And this guy's like, look, bud, like, your high score ain't squat. And he goes, what do you mean? He goes, well, let me show you. So he plays the game. He plays it so well that they literally get so angry at his high score, they have to beat the living hell out of him. They crash through a window. Great pose here, guys. And I love that they're showing, look, feedback. Look at this Baroque angle, right? Like, we're here sideways. When we're sideways, we fit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different characters in the panel. Will Conrad, absolute masterful storytelling here. But yeah, our boy, he gets off. The arcade owner's like, look, man, that guy's with me. They ship him off to the hospital. In the hospital, he befriends a lady that, you know, later sticks around. But while he's in the hospital, he gets approached. Now, people, this is okay. See, if you were jaded, you would hate this. You would think this was horrible. But we here, the AKAPAD Army, we like Shazam. So when characters get approached by a shadowed figure in a trench coat and hat that says, please come with me, and our protagonist follows that request, we're okay with it. So anyway, so he follows the shadowy character. The shadowy character drops, you know, he's dropping CIA. He's like, we're with intelligence. We need you. We need your vehicle electronics. We have her iron you for a while. Takes off his trench coat, and he is, people call me Ironside, Ironside. Perfectly comic book. Again, too, another great Baroque angle here by our boy Will. Now, let's just keep in mind, see how we flip the page, and we're kind of going from yellow to blue, and then we're back to blues and darks. We already know, like, you know, you don't have to read the story, but you know when you're transitioning. And look at the storytelling to how quickly we move from warehouse to outside the city, and we relatively have 2 establishing shots. And Conrad here artfully does a nice medium shot too. We just get enough of an idea with the boxes, the barrels, the high ceilings. They're in a warehouse. Bird's eye view here. The vehicle getting lowered. And check out the great vehicle design, guys. Fantastic vehicle. This thing's like Hot Wheel ready. But anyway, so they go joyriding. They go to complete the mission with this vehicle that this random electrician guy that repairs video games in arcades helps them to finish. But, you know, as you find out, it's a betrayal, right? Mr. Ironside here slugs our boy, takes the car, and then, right here, we're back to the beginning. Our boy here gets struck by lightning so perfectly. Mr. Ironside's like, well, thanks for the test run, boy. You just helped us rob the bank. You helped us commit the crime. They go, they complete everything. Great. I love the police vein here. Just getting, look at the wheel. See, so when you have a panel like this, and you just want to show destruction of a vehicle, you have to draw the tires popping off the vehicle in some aspect. That's how we communicate that. But yeah, but then we go and we're transitioning. So we have a nice, again, nice long medium shot here. Nice silhouette. We get it. He's got the Jules vehicle. Then we're fading back into modern day. And look at I absolutely love the coloring. I love these shots of blue here. I'm not crazy for color holds. And a color hold is, for example, like you hold the line and you color the actual ink line. Okay. Color holds to me never sell. They never sell. Maybe for the raindrops. But whatever. But the color hold here kind of works. I just wish it was a little bit more electricity. But yeah, but we see he has electrical powers. I can be a superhero. And then he runs home, right? Runs home, sees the kid, gets himself a superhero costume with help of the girl, aka the nurse. Can't be too soon to suit me. Then he goes back. And he just basically goes on a revenge kick with against Ironside. Great action here by Conrad too. Our boy getting jumped again. Second time this book is getting jumped. And then he goes 1-on-1 with the big dude, and he later just tricks him. So we call this hanging the lantern. So as we established, when they're lowering the vehicle earlier on, it's a giant magnet. So he uses the same magnet, sucks up Ironside, literally uses the devices that Ironside has, blows them up, and gets the girl at the end. And the conversation is very flirty when he gets his suit. This is a great conversation. Again, great storytelling, because like, look what happens here. Just within a few pages where we're medium. We know we're in 2 different time zones here. And then when he runs home, again, establishing shot. Now, usually a establishing shot would be something to the point of the silhouette of the house, or we see the house, or we see that he's in the neighborhood. But the way how the page flip works, see, he's running away. And then it works so well when you turn the page and he's coming this way at you. Super intelligent people. You don't need like Watchmen. You don't need anything but what's in front of you to see great storytelling and great execution when it comes to comics. This is a 25-cent, 10-cent, dollar book, period. But there's a ton of great storytelling lessons in this. I would say this could be a one course, because this has all the storytelling techniques. It mostly uses a grid. We're breaking panel borders, we're showing off characters, we're introducing characters in a big paneled way. There's just a lot here, people. This is so artfully done. I can't recommend this enough. And I'm not sure if there's other Who Wants to Be a Superhero books, but this one, I think this one's a home run. Rock and roll. Also subscribe, support, and leave a comment.